And for right now, our focus as an organization, certainly as a management group, and certainly as a coaching staff, is to make sure that we're doing the necessary work that'll make sure that we're prepared when that season does start. We're all professionals, and for us, we just want to make sure we're ready when we do get that tap on the shoulder that we're about to begin.
You know, you mentioned with so much uncertainty and the schedule sort of like they'd like to start December 4th, that could end up getting pushed back and whatnot. Do you foresee a situation where you are going to not know who literally is coming to Bakersfield until the very last minute?
It's not so much who's coming to Bakersfield, it's when we're about to begin. And that's something that's out of everybody's control right now. All I know is that we will be playing hockey at some point. Our job and our message to our players is to make sure that we're ready for that. I think certain teams, I think certain organizations, and certainly certain coaches and players are going to handle this pause better than others. And our challenge right now is to be able to deal with that uncertainty, to make sure that we're mentally and physically prepared.
When you think back to the end of this past season, how it ended so abruptly for everyone, truly, and then how the NHL literally, I believe, was the first major organization to get back on its feet going into the bubble to play the postseason and whatnot. How big of a move was that at the time they were able to do it? Because before they decided on all of that, there was all of this talk that not only would next season, the one approaching, be pushed back, but that there would be literally maybe 6 to 8 months off with no hockey at all. How crucial was it to get back and do that when they did?
I think it was really important, and it's a credit to the hard work and determination of everybody involved. They've done a heck of a job of, number one, providing a safe environment. Their testing numbers have been, come back glowingly every time they're reported every week or whatnot. And, I think we've seen some really good hockey at the highest level. It is different than a normal playoff season, but I think it's come off very, very well. It's extremely well produced. The game presentation is excellent. The level of competition is intense. And for them to be able to do that in this type of environment, I think it's a credit to not only the league, but also the players.
Were you surprised to see the results, Edmonton out? It seems like we've seen a lot of shocking results so far in this, COVID postseason.
It was tough to predict. You look at I was reading an article today about the team in Dallas, and they had lost 6 games prior to the league getting shut down, and now they're in position to compete for a Stanley Cup in the Stanley Cup Finals. So, coming out of a long break where there was so much uncertainty, and then to see the level of competition over the last few weeks, I think it's been impressive. I think it's hard to predict. And at the end of it, the team that's going to be carrying that trophy around will be the team that was able to put it together during extremely unusual circumstances, and the team that's willing and able to sacrifice the most to raise that trophy.
Will it still mean the same thing, even though this is this unusual postseason? Whoever wins deserves to win that. Am I correct there?
100%. I think the big thing, although these are unusual circumstances for the league and for the playoffs, at the end of the day, once the playoffs were set and there were 16 teams left, you had to win 16 games in order to raise that trophy. And that's not an easy thing to do in any type of environment. So certainly the team that wins those 16 games is well-deserving. Sure, it's unusual times. But yeah, for sure, it'll be a great accomplishment for that team.
Were there any of your former players in Bakersfield that really stood out in your mind in the bubble?
Yeah, you know what? So I had the opportunity to go up to Edmonton for the training camp portion of camp there, and certainly you look at a player we graduated this season, spent the first half of the year with us, Kyler Yamamoto, playing in the top 6 in Edmonton. He helped change the course of their season up top, and we take a lot of pride in his development. So to see him contribute not only during the regular season, but also on the playoff run for them, that was very, very interesting for us to watch. Also, Caleb Jones, who'd been a fixture here over the last 2.5 years, to go up and play meaningful minutes up there. Ethan Bear, he spent basically 2 years here in Bakersfield, and for him to establish himself as a top 4 defenseman in the NHL, that's a point of pride for our organization. And then, you see other people that went up and made contributions, the Patrick Russells of the world, the Cooper Marody, Tyler Benson, Ryan McLeod up front, who were all part of that process up there. And then on the back, to see Stuart Skinner in net and Evan Bouchard involved, I think that experience will set those players up well going forward.
Looking forward to December 4th, do you foresee the possibility, the very real possibility of perhaps if we do get to start on December 4th, it might be without fans?
What we're working towards is that date, December 4th, because that's what's in front of us. That's the goal in the starting point. That's a long ways off right now. It's a long ways and a short ways. And so for us, when it comes down to putting fans in the stands and playing in front of our passionate fan base here in Condors Town, I know that's the goal. 100% that's the goal. But that's beyond our coaching staff's purview and our coaching staff's control. So for us, we're asking our players to do the same. Our focus is on making sure that everybody's in shape, everybody is healthy, and everybody is mentally and physically prepared for when that season starts. We don't control what we don't control. We're putting our focus on what we do control.
And finally, are you enjoying this peace and quiet in your office, or are you looking forward to a little chaos?
Well, I'm always happiest being around our team and our beautiful facilities here at our arena. And so I like to see a little bit more commotion. And I think not just coaches, but players, coaches, trainers, doctors, anyone that's involved with professional hockey teams have had September as their starting point their entire lives. And so for us to be sitting here on September 16th and not be in the midst of a training camp feels a little bit different. But like I said, we're embracing what's in front of us, and it's an opportunity to make sure that we're ready when the season does start.
All right. Head coach Jay Woodcroft, good seeing you, and welcome back to Bakersfield, and hopefully we'll get this season started on time.
I really appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for having me on.